Sorry.
Jen, any other questions we got?
Yes, we have another question that came in from Tony. He said, do you feel it's more impactful when starting out to focus on posting my own content versus commenting on other people's posts?
Oh, that's a good one. I think it has got to be 50-50. So I think you do have to post your own content because once you start posting on other people's content, they're going to want to see what you have to say too. So it's got to be like a 50-50. And I do think you need to post on other people's content. You definitely need to comment on it. And you want to comment on the people that you care about because those are the people that you're going to be able to build in your own network. And you want to build the network towards your audience, towards the people that you really have an affinity towards, people that mean something to you, either in your own field or the people that you want to build a network with in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, it really does have to be 50-50.
Is that on LinkedIn, or does this work better commenting on other people's stuff, better on certain platforms?
So it really depends on where your audience is. So you need to be where your audience is. So yes, definitely on LinkedIn, but you need to be, if your audience isn't on LinkedIn, don't go to LinkedIn. It really depends. So I always talk to my clients and ask them if they know where their audience is. And some people do, and some people don't. So we need to research to find out where they are. One of my clients was like, my audience is all Gen X, or not Gen X, I'm sorry, Gen Z. So we looked at TikTok, but then we were trying to figure out where else we should go. And we were looking, and he really wanted to go on X. I was like, okay, spend your time. Okay. But that was his decision. Have fun. But it just depends on where your audience is. But yeah.
I can agree. I think that if you can comment on a post, and I like to do this, sometimes I'll see a post that gets under my skin, and I know my audience is reading that, and I will post something contrarian to the post, or I'll post helpful information to augment that post. And not only do I get the attention of the individual that was posting, but I also see other people read my comments. And LinkedIn is really great because you can see who likes your comment and you can follow that person. And I find that LinkedIn is just better for it rather than commenting on Instagram or something. Facebook, I think, works really well if you've got the right audience there. But I would agree. I've seen some good results. Unfortunately, I don't do it enough. You're saying literally 50-50. Post your own stuff and post on other people's comments. That's interesting.
Yeah, definitely 50-50, because a lot of times when you're posting comments on other people's, you can get viral comments. And it's amazing what can happen because the networks can spread. And I have actually, because I've gotten viral comments on other people, I've gotten 50 followers based on one comment. And I'm not trying to, I actually keep my followers very small. I don't want a huge network on followers intentionally because I like to interact with people. And but based on one comment, they were like, oh my gosh. And so I would talk with all these people because that's what I like to do. And it's amazing what can actually happen.
How possible is it then to pull a ninja maneuver and hijack somebody else's audience? How much have you done that or seen that before?
I have seen it before. And in fact, one of my clients is complaining about it because one of her people, and she's got a huge following. She's got, I don't know, 15, 20,000 followers. And somebody that both she and I know is trying to hijack her followers. So it happens.
Let's stay on the topic of LinkedIn just for a second.
Yeah.
We do these LinkedIn posting parties here at Startups.com. It is something that we started really at the behest. It was sparked by you and another one of our advisors. Hopefully we'll get him on the show, JD Miller. And how it works is we all post our LinkedIn content together and at the same time. And then there's this 2-hour window where we like each other's posts, comment on each other's posts, and then comment on the comments. And we trade back and forth, and we sort of throttle the algorithm. And then I've seen triple my impressions, like literally 3x my traffic based on doing this because it's just the way that LinkedIn works.
Yeah.
What would you say to the founder out there on why they should attend a LinkedIn posting party and just encourage everybody to get involved?
I think there's a lot of benefit to it, especially with founders who are very unfamiliar with LinkedIn. They want to learn about it. They want to understand how it works, and they're trying to build their network. I think this is a fantastic way to, one, learn how to post, build their networks, and then really increase how they're content marketing, just their posting abilities. Because a lot of times I've seen somebody who is absolutely brand new to LinkedIn, and their posting quality right now, their content is so good. She and I have talked a lot now, and just her quality is really good. And she's actually gotten investors on her posts, like, just because her quality is so good. And it's just amazing. It's a long game, but there are other ways, in fact, to increase the people who come onto it. But you have to have good quality content. You have to have people going on and liking and commenting. And this is a good way to get going, to get started, to increase so much of your following, so much of your connection, so much of your content. And this is a great way to get things going and get things started. And then you're going to be able to grow and to understand. And it's been fantastic. And for you to get 3 times is phenomenal. And we haven't been doing it all that long, maybe what, 6, 7, 8 months, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
It's not that long for that to happen. So, founders can get a significant reward out of it.
Here's the most common question that comes up
Yeah.
is what type of content should I be posting? And if you look at the array, some people like to post their lunch. This is what I ate. Funny cat video, funny
Don't
quote.
do that.
A little anecdote. Or some people like to share an article from the web. They put a link and they make that the content. Or some people try and share their company pages. Like you see this array. I like to write long form articles because I find that if someone's willing to read my entire article, they become more suited. They're the best suited, my ideal customer profile. So if you're advising one of our founders, new, saying, I'm going to attend a LinkedIn posting party, what type of content should I prepare? What would you say to them?
So I think in the beginning, start shorter just to get a feel for it. You want to start. That is the very first thing, is just to start, because a lot of times people are extremely uncomfortable and they don't know what to post. There are so many different ways and different types of posts. Starting is the big thing. Once you get more and more comfortable, you can try different types of posts. You can do long form, you can do short form, you can do videos, you can do carousels. There are so many different types of posts. And sometimes you just need to try to see what works and resonates with your audience. Just try, and you will eventually start to see what works well with your audience. But you have to keep doing it, and you have to keep posting. And what works well? One thing I have to say, authenticity. I cannot stress that enough. I say it all the time. Authenticity. Be who you are always, because people are going to know when you're fake. So the more real you are, the more you talk about whatever. I mean, you don't talk about your lunch, okay? Just don't. Nobody gives it. Nobody cares about your lunch. Talk about something real. You can talk about your life. You can talk about your business. You can talk about all kinds of things. Talk about thought leadership. You can talk about all kinds of things. It does not have to be perfect. It will get better over time. And even when you come to the LinkedIn posting parties, you'll see all the different types and you'll get better with it. You'll learn so much. Our goal is to teach you, and you'll see the different types. And it doesn't have to be difficult. You just keep going. The more and more you do it, you'll get better. But just start. Just start. Don't be afraid. Just start. Even if you say, hi, I'm Gwen. Cool. Hi, good to meet you. That's all. Just start.
You're reminding me of all the exercise advice out there. And I'm trying to get back into shape. And I remember times where I would try and research all the different types of workouts and the science behind it. And then a trainer told me the best exercise is the one that you're going to do. And
Exactly.
just get out there, and then you'll start to know which one works better for you, and you'll start to see the results and you get a feel for it. And that's what you just keep building on. And I really appreciate that, Gwen. I think one of the big benefits of our LinkedIn posting party is that it requires the founder, everybody out there, to actually attend on a regular basis. And people show up just for accountability and to say, I got to get my one weekly LinkedIn post out there. I think it's so helpful.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. I mean, sometimes it helps me to do it because I write for so many other people. It helps me just to get mine out.
Let's talk about that, and then we'll get to a fun little article. You just
Love
triggered
it.
a question for me. You said it helps, but you're writing for so many other people. So let's talk about the founder that says, I want to hire someone like you. let's take you out of the equation. I want to hire someone to help me with my marketing. Is that a good idea? How should they go about it? What advice? Like, imagine your friend's mom came to you and said, Gwen, I need some advice, and you are off the table. What would you say in terms of hiring someone for marketing help?
So where they are, what they're capable of doing themselves. I want to teach people so they can do a few things themselves, because sometimes people aren't ready to hire other people. If they're able to, fantastic. But some companies, one, don't have the resources, and two, they need to learn a little bit, because I will tell you, as most people know, there are a lot of marketing you salesmen out there, and they will sell you everything in the kitchen sink. I don't like founders to get used and abused, and a lot of people do that. So it's about learning as much as you can, doing as much as you can. And then when you get to the point when you can hire somebody, you want to hire the right person. There are people like me and other companies that are fantastic for founders, but you want to focus on somebody who knows how to work with founders. You don't want to hire a big agency because they don't care. They are focused on large corporations a lot of times. They want your money, and they're just going to go and go and go and promise you the world and give you nothing. So focus on somebody who knows about founders and entrepreneurship and all the theories for funding. That's really important, because if they don't understand that, they don't understand you. They don't know what you need. That's really important.
You make such an important point. And this goes for developers as well. If you're hiring a big agency and they got this big overhead, you want to think about it in terms of how much extra overhead do they have that you're going to be paying for, and are you willing to pay for it? And unless you're a massive brand and you've got budgets like Coca-Cola and you're having to protect huge market share, you don't have the money. You're most likely bootstrapping, or you're just squeezing every single penny out of your pre-seed funding. That's the reason you want to work with someone like Gwen, because Gwen, I've seen you work with founders. You help them figure it out, and then you say, hey, now we can invest in it more, but let me at least help you establish a foundation. And many times, and this is just a shout out for you, you've come back to me and you said, this person's just not ready, or I want to help this person kind of get on their feet on their own before they have to spend money. I think it's a great approach, and it's just another big benefit that you bring to the community. We really appreciate you, Gwen. This is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. One thing I do want to say about that is, you will see with companies who do have overhead, something that a lot of people don't realize is that companies will charge other companies to prepare presentations for new companies. So when you see, I don't know, an agency who gives you a beautiful presentation, it's all pretty, it's all fancy, a nice proposal, it's all gorgeous, they've charged that time for your proposal to another company. So that might take 25 hours. They've charged it to somebody else. They're going to do that to you. Be aware of that stuff. Little things like that.
That's kind of sneaky, Gwen. That's kind of sneaky. I never thought about that before. And I used to work with agencies all the time.